Here's the kicker, Nick Novak, to get us started. Get strapped in. It's just about time to get the party started. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. They're led onto the field by a man who needs no introduction, Ben Roethlisberger.
An absolute prototype for what you draw up as a big, strong quarterback that has to stay in the pocket and make big throws with people all around him and even hanging on him, and still has that type of strength to get the ball downfield. Ben Roethlisberger, an absolute rock in the pocket, but he also can escape and make big plays that way as well.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Here's Roethlisberger. And caught, right side, Green. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. A big play that time on the catch and run. 34 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
Now a first down carry by Bell. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. Green with a catch left side. And he'll go down at the 28. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to swing the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. Down to the 25.
Holding offense.
Yeah, that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. This is caught by Antonio Brown. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And there, the man coverage not good enough, partner, and they're able to complete the pass.
Excellent recognition of the man coverage, and they found the guy who could win downfield.
On second down, it's Bell. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12. On your screen now, here are the offensive starters. At wideout, Antonio Brown is certainly someone that the defense always has to account for.
Without a doubt, a true #1 receiver. It doesn't matter to him how defenses want to cover him. He sees it as a challenge and knows how to defeat him.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Roethlisberger will throw. And he checks this one down to Williams. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. And they'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
So it's our visitors who make the first dent in the scoreboard as they get 3 here on the initial drive of the ball game.
Yeah, it's hard to say who actually won that opening drive. On the one hand, anytime you can come in as a road team and get an early lead, you're going to be thrilled. But at the same time, to have the ball as deep in enemy territory as they did and come away with only 3, that's got to be a little bit of a disappointment.
They isolate Hopkins on the left side. They go play action here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Second and 10 now. Osweiler. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Holding offense.
And that penalty will wipe out a big gain by the offense. Now a play fake here on first down. This one complete. It's C.J. Fedorowicz. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. And they're on the move as they face a second down here. Now Osweiler. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
A first down carry now for Miller. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
On second down, Osweiler. He's got a man. It's his fullback. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean that's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college. With all the spread offenses, not very many pro style, where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
Escaping the pressure right. This will be caught inside the 10. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
On second down, here's Osweiler. Flush to his right. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Whenever I see an in route dropped, as we just saw on that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
3rd and 2. Now Osweiler steps away to his left. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
3rd down is the down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win, and the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
Bill O'Brien, an offensive mind, and he's going to trust his offense here. They're going for it on 4th. They're going on 4th down. It's Osweiler, and it's caught by Shorts. Give him 6 on the play, and the decision to go for it pays off. They've got a 1st and goal. Just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense.
Well, the feel that I get on this is that they felt like 3 was just not going to be enough after.
That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, a 2-yard touchdown grab, and the Texans have taken the lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it's a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Now it's Novak on. He'll send this one away following the touchdown. It's Marcus Wheaton now to return it. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal.
He's got it at the 15. It's a big play. Roethlisberger to Brown. 61 yards. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They come out here in the I. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. Back now. As I search for my cue card here, there we go. Coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis from our first half of play.
Well read.
Well, thank you. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Marcus Wheaton, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers are going to retake the lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you?
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Ryan Shazier in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Now, how about that? Defensive coordinator perfectly in sync, dials up a blitz, and the man in the middle, he's the one who gets home.
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
Now Osweiler. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically, but a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Hopkins on the grab over the middle. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. They isolate Hopkins on the left side. On 1st and 10, it's Osweiler. Flushed out right. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. DeAndre Hopkins with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Texans are in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
And they will line up now for the two-point try. Osweiler's going to throw. And this will be caught as they convert here for 2. He hits the big target for the two-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
Here comes Ben Roethlisberger and the Steeler offense back onto the field. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, the little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass. No interceptions for him personally to this point. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
So let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Texans line up at the 3. Here will get a pass into the end zone, and he capped off the long drive with a touchdown. The lead grows to 4. 1st and 10. In traffic, Antonio Brown will make the catch, and he'll eventually be brought down, but not before getting to the 12-yard line. Steelers later on the drive. Roethlisberger's got the completion here, and he finds his mark for the score. That puts them up by a field goal. Texans take it at the 11. Osweiler's going to get outside and complete the pass. And it's caught for the touchdown. That pushes the lead to 5.
All right, Larry, thank you. A fairly tight game here as we get set to resume play in this second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 20. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. So they're able to connect and beat the man coverage.
Nice job between the two of them. One getting downfield, the other one delivering.
On 3rd and 1, Osweiler. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
How to be 6'7", be able to see over coverages into open windows. Brock Osweiler just did that with the slant route.
With that height, was also a great basketball player. Gonzaga, as you know, actually offered him a scholarship in high school for hoops.
Hard to believe he didn't take that, decided he wanted to play football, and ultimately chose Arizona State because of the direct flights from his hometown of Montana into Phoenix, Arizona.
Is that true?
That's a true story. Allowed his parents to come see him play a lot easier. We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot, but they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall. On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
18 yards on the pickup there, and it'll give the Texans a first down. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Throwing, Osweiler. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. It's a gain of 17 that time. And that'll be good for a Houston first.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, their gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get that
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game. Normally, he's pretty reliable, usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
Oh, long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. Again on 2nd and 10 now. It's Osweiler. Griffin's got it, middle of the field. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play.
But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, picked off by Ryan Shazier, and he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. And caught, right side, Green. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell, and he'll get this one up to the 26. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
They'll go again with Bell, and he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Oh, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player, as well as a physical specimen.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Back now at the home of Super Bowl 51, NRG Stadium in Houston. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. Now a play fake here on first down. He's got time. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Second and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. Hauled in by Wheaton over the middle. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Again, it's Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Antonio Brown, 58 yards. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
This will be fielded at the 8. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Brock Osweiler now heading out there to get set to go here on offense. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes, because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really...
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. 23 yards on the play.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. C.J. Fedorowicz, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. And it is incomplete, so they can't convert for 2. And now the lead stays at 5. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. It's a 5-receiver set, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. Surveying the field. On the right side, caught by Green. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
On second down, Roethlisberger finding time. And that is incomplete here.
Holding offense.
So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play. And that'll bring up second down. On second down, here's Roethlisberger. And this is caught by Hayward Bay. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
And this is going to be incomplete. Here's Jordan Berry now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Mumphrey now on the return. Look at this spin.
Balance.
A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Stephon Tuitt in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Osweiler. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Now let's go.
Oh, Osweiler going to throw it. Eluding the pressure right. And he slings one that's incomplete. C.J. Fedorowicz, the intended receiver. And now it's second down.
I know we're doing this game live, but let's step into the film room for just a second, because when they review this play, oh, the negatives are going to be incredible on this one. Rolling out to his right. Yeah, he's right-handed, so that's a natural spot for him. But he throws back across his body back into traffic.
Big no-no.
Oh, that's a monster no-no. The only good thing that happened, it fell incomplete. Very fortunate. The Steelers insert their nickel defense on third down.
Yeah, they add a DB. He's got time in the pocket. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
And here's a big one now. Try to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on fourth down.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
Fourth down. Here's Osweiler. Griffin's got it, middle of the field. Bill O'Brien rolls the dice, but to no avail. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And now they're in the hurry-up. He'll look to throw. Shakes off the sag, and he can't get a throw away. play. He's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. Back to throw. Goes underneath for Bell. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to lead to a third down. Back to throw. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. And the offense moving quickly to the line. And with just over 40 seconds now remaining, he gets up and spikes it. They'll look to throw. He's got time. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up third down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. And what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
He's back to throw. And did he get the feet down? No. They'll say he did not. It's incomplete.
That was a difficult catch, and I admire the fact that he actually caught the football, worked so hard to get his feet down in bounds, tried to do the toe tap. My dad's an accomplished tap dancer. I'm not sure he would have gotten his feet in on that one.
Is he really?
Yeah, that he is.
How about that? What about Young Davis?
No, it did not. It did not cross.
It didn't carry over.
No, it stopped right there.
This will be caught inside the 10. Call it an even 20 yards on the pickup. And the decision to go for it pays off. They've got a first and goal. And they're down to 17 seconds now here after the spike. Now it's Roethlisberger. And he's got it. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds. So with next to nothing left on the clock, they get Charles what should be the game-winning touchdown catch.
That felt so much like practice and preparation coming together. So many times your last practice of the week, you score the game-winning touchdown. Everyone leaves the field feeling good about themselves. They got it done for real in this situation.
So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
Now it's Osweiler. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
One last shot for Osweiler. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion.
Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319. I'm going to run you up. I'm going to run you up. Detroit! Detroit!
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it